Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Debbie Danford from craftiercreations.blogspot.com, and I'm coming to you live here on Facebook today with a quick, simple, at least I think it was quite simple to put together, card using the Grow with Love bundle, which this was the bundle that I used for my monthly club pick. This is the one they voted on for this time. And I decided to do something totally different in different colors than what the herbs would necessarily be in. But that's okay. When you're stamping, anything goes. So just real quick, I'm double checking to make sure I was live, and I am. So here's the card we're going to make right here. And we're going to do a little bit of masking in the center, and then, which we technically wouldn't have to because we would cover it anyway, but I just find it a little bit easier. And we're stamping with Misty Moonlight and Lemon Lolly. I know, two colors that herbs are not usually those colors. At least they shouldn't be. At least not that I know of. And then I pulled in the thanks. And that's from the My Small Business set, which this set could be used for a lot of things because you have so many different thank yous and things like that. So, and it's got the Handmade for You one and some hearts made with love. So a lot of these could be used by anybody. You don't have to be a demonstrator to think that, you know, you have to get this set. But it just has some great thank you words. So I pulled in this one. I almost thought about using that one. But I think with what I had die cut, because I die cut this shape, coordinates with the Grow with Love. It's the die. It's one of the dies that come with this in the bundle. So I had a couple of those already like left over from die cutting. So I just decided to go ahead and use it. So I have pulled, let's see, I have the basil and the mint because originally I was going to use two different blues, but I ended up only using one. So we'll see which one I grab. And then I pulled in the thyme. And I also am using one of the little background texts from the Elements of Text. I love this set. This is like my go-to favorite set right now. I have been using it on, I won't say every card, but I've been using it a lot. If you don't have this one, I really highly recommend you get it. I have found it so useful to add stuff to the backgrounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this out of the way, and here I'm going to put my sample over here. Now, here's our measurements for today. We have thick basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Our first layer, which here is Misty Moonlight, but it could be any color depending on what you're doing. 4 by 5.25. The second layer that we're going to stamp on is 3 3/4 by 5, so that's a basic white. And then we have a strip, and mine is 1.5 by 3 3/4. It could be wider, it could be narrower. I just grabbed a piece that I had, and it was technically 1 3/4. I just cut it down a little bit. And it just fit good with what I had going on with this die cut already. And then, of course, you need a scrap for your phrase. And I added a little bit of the Lemon Lolly ribbon that I had. Comes in a 3-pack. I don't even remember what other two colors, but I had some of this because I was trying to find yellow ribbon. First, I was trying to find some blue that I thought would work, and I didn't have any. I was trying to actually deconstruct a piece of ribbon, and I was having difficulty. And then I remembered I had the Lemon Lolly linen thread, so we're going to go ahead and use that. Okay, so, and we're going to use a piece of masking paper. Now, I've already cut this piece. Now, this piece is only 1 inch wide. You could cut it wider if you wanted to. The first thing you want to do when you peel off the back is I take it and either put it on your arm, your sleeve, your pants, and make it not as sticky. Because if you leave it too sticky, it might pull some of the paper fibers, and we don't want it to do that. Now, in this case, it probably wouldn't matter as much because we're going to cover that up. So it would be okay, but it's just a habit to get used to so that it's not as sticky. And you can see it's pulling, you know, any fibers from my shirt. And then I use the lines on my glass mat here to make sure this is straight. And I don't measure the middle. If you want it to specifically be in the middle, you know, definitely do that. So I'm just going to put this down about right here. And I think that's straight. Okay. Then what we're going to do, I'm going to bring in a scrap piece here. And we are going to go ahead and start stamping. So we're going to open up the Lemon Lolly here. And then the Misty Moonlight. And we'll go ahead and use the basil leaves there. All right. And then all I did is just start basically doing some random stamping. Now, when you stamp with these herbs, you do see a phrase down here at the bottom. Tells you what kind of herb it is. Mm-hmm. That stamps. When you die cut these shapes out, and I thought I had one laying on my desk that was left over, but I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. So when you die cut these shapes out, it does not die cut the phrase, which is nice because then you can do something different with the die cut if you wanted to. Okay. I'm stamping the basil, so it's going to be down here on top of my masking tape so that we're not going to see that part. And I'm just going to do random. I like to do odd numbers, so I'm going to do 3 at the top and maybe 2 at the bottom with this particular one. I'm going to start, just going to go for it. Now, this one is a little bit lighter. I inked up my ink pad in between this because I felt like it was, I was really having a hard time stamping with it, so it was a little too light. So now it's more of a true Misty Moonlight, honestly. And now I probably could have got away with using 2 different blues like I originally was, but see, that one ended up a little light there, but that's okay. I don't mind that. And then we're going to stamp that one there. And then I'm going to come over and stamp that one there. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to bring in the thyme with the Lemon Lolly. I love this yellow. Yes, it's really a light color, but I just think it's so subtle that it fits well. So I'm going to put 2 here. And then I'm going to put 1 like right here in the middle. Yeah, I got a little overstamp there, but we're not going to see it when we're done. Then I am going to take the elements of text, one of the random ones. And you could use, like, we have lots. These 2 are much bigger. I don't think I want to do that for this, but we have the little splatters too. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to do this or one of the splatters. You know what? I think this time I'm going to pull in a splatter, and we may do both. We'll see. Okay. And I am going to use the Misty Moonlight. Now I'm going to stamp off because, since I inked it up, because I know it's going to be a little bit darker. And I'm going to do some random stamping. And like I said, I may go and add the other one too. And we're going to do some blending around the edges also. So there's that. I'm trying to decide if I still want to put a little bit of this on there, and I think I do. So let's go ahead. I think I'm going to do it in Lemon Lolly. See, we're switching it up just a little bit. And I'm just going to randomly stamp. And this is going to be very faint because the Lemon Lolly is so light. And we're just randomly putting it on here. You're not going to see as much of it with that color. You could go again with the Misty Moonlight if you wanted. Okay, so there's our card front. And then I'm just going to carefully peel this off. And this could be used again. I had mine that I had used before, but I wanted to show you from the beginning so that you would know. Now, I'm going to go around the edges here with the Misty Moonlight, just to soften that up a little bit. I love to use the blending brushes. If you've been to any of my classes or taken any of the virtual classes, I tend to use blending brushes a lot because I like to blend with it. I think it's a great way to add a little extra to your cards. Okay, so that's what we've got going on right now. Kind of looks like, Debbie, you got a mess going on. And, you know, we could stamp some more here, but I kind of like how it comes together here. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring in our card base, because I'm going to flip it, and we're going to do a little bit of random stamping here. See, like I did there, with the same two stamps and colors. And again, remember, this one's darker now because I just re-inked it. And I just did random first, second, third generation. And then let's do some of and I'm making sure I'm stamping off enough that we don't get the phrase there, because you don't really want that to show up here in your corner. And we'll do a little bit of the splatter. The other thing I did think about doing, and then we're going to add a little bit of the Misty Moonlight just along the edge here. And of course, if you are one that likes to decorate your envelope at the same time, you could do that at the same time. I don't usually decorate my envelope. I do sometimes, but not till I'm getting ready to send it out, depending on what I'm doing with it. Okay, so I think that's all our stamping. The other last thing I did think about doing, and I think we're going to try it. I'm going to bring in, I'm going to grab my Misty Moonlight Stampin' Write marker. Let's see. Here it is. And you can use the Stampin' Blends or the Stampin' Write marker. Either one will work. And I'm going to do a little bit of flicking here and put a little bit of splatter with the ink on here also. And it's okay if it gets here. We're going to cover that up, because I could have done this. Yeah, I was thinking about it after I did the other card. I thought, I bet that would make it look even better. Yes, I love it. I love how that turned out. Okay, now we're just going to do some assembly here. So let's bring in our parts and pieces. Well, we're going to do some assembly, and we're going to still stamp our phrase. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that before we close up all the ink. So I'm going to bring in there we go. And we're just going to stamp this in the center. Just like that. And now we can go ahead and close this up. Okay, let's set some things aside. We'll move our scrap stamping piece out of the way. This is where I was practicing. I was trying something different. I was thinking about putting lines on there, but then I realized that I actually had my piece of tape in the middle, my masking paper, on a little crooked, so my line didn't turn out. So, but I still used it. It all worked out. Okay, so this just gets layered on here, just like that. And I don't burnish my score line for my card until I'm done putting my layers on. I like to work in a flat surface area. I feel like it's easier to attach all your layers. If you haven't tried it, at least try it and see if you like it, because I feel like I've been doing it now for well over a year, and I love it. I feel like it's so much easier to get our layers on with it being flat. Now, there are some fun folds where you have to do your scoring and, and your burnishing and things like that before you can put some things on. So you can't always do it, but for a lot of cards you can. So I think it's great. All right, let's go ahead and I just kind of feel like I have a little bit of a bare spot right there, and I was trying to think what I could do if I really want to stamp something else there or not. I know I've kind of already put it together. I'm just going to leave it. It's okay. Now, you could die cut some of the die cuts that go with this too. And like have a couple of those sticking out if you really wanted to. But I kept it simple. Oh yeah, I was going to say, I'm popping that up, but that's right. We need to put a piece of the lemon lolly. And all I do is wrap it around my fingers, and then I just do a twist like this. And then I lay it down. And then your little ends, you can trim off. You can tuck them behind. I don't mind them sticking out a little bit. Okay, get that out of the way. And then we're going to bring in our dimensionals here. And we're going to go ahead and put 3 of them. I'm using the big ones this time since this shape is a little bit bigger. Now, if this is your first time joining me, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, follow, share. I love it when you do all those things because I do take my Facebook Lives and I upload them to YouTube. Okay. So yes, please make sure you follow me on Facebook, YouTube, all of the above. And if you want to get on my mailing list, I'll have the link below so that you can join my mailing list. All right, so I brought in the adhesive back shiny sequins, and we have, I'm pretty sure it's lemon lolly. It doesn't tell me, and I didn't go look it up, and I don't even know what color was here that I used all of these, but either granny apple green or lemon lime twist here, lemon lolly, and I'm not sure. I think that could be peach pie, but like I said, I didn't go look up what the colors were on here. This is one of my wishes that Stampin' Up! Would do, is put the colors of our bling on the back. I usually write it on this little flap or someplace on here, but I didn't on this one. I don't know why, but okay, let's go ahead and put some blingity bling on here. This is how we'll take up some of that little space right there. I think that'll be good. And then, actually, I think I'm going to put a couple more. And I'm using the big and the small both. There we go. I like that. And then we stamped our inside, and now we can fold it and burnish it. And you've got a quick, simple, I don't want to read that upside down, quick, simple card, but look how pretty it looks. And, you know, I don't dislike the one that was lighter. I almost kind of wish I would have done some second generation stamping here, but I like them both. I think, and you could use any color combination. I was actually first pulling out granny apple green, lemon lime twist, and then I thought, oh, let's do some blues and yellows. So that's my card for today. I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope you try something with it. Actually, this is the basil here, and this one looks like it's the, what is the other one I had out? This is actually the mint. I can tell by the leaf. Yeah, those are different. So this is the basil, and this one was the mint that I had stamped with. So, but they all worked. Any of them will work. So yeah, I hope you give this a try. And like I said, you could use so many different leaves, flowers to do this kind of layout with. The sky's the limit. Anyway, I will see you again next Thursday. And if you have any questions, or if you are in need of a catalog or looking for a demonstrator, just reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. I will see you again next week. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.